What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you all to those of you who are new to the channel or old viewers. Today I got a very special analysis for you today. The Mega's coming out this weekend, so I thought we would take the time and analyze and talk about Jaws. And the film of Jaws, the most I can analyze from this film is the idea of overcoming your greatest fear. Whatever your greatest fear is. Honestly, I feel as though we know that Jaws, the film, inspired a lot of fear and terror when it comes to people going into the water, going swimming, going to beaches ever again. I mean, it's one of those films that was so inspirational and so revolutionary when it comes to the blockbuster genre, that Steven Spielberg did a great job across the board. When we look at how this story progresses, there's an investigation element to it. And that's when it comes to our own life too. You know, this shark pops onto the scene, it causes havoc, and not everybody knew about it at the very beginning, at this time being. And that could be like us. You take a look at who we are. We take a look at who we are as people. Although we might have a good wrap around who we are as individuals and what our lives are like, sometimes there are certain elements such as fear, such as things that we're absolutely terrified of, that we might not know about. We might not know the thing that scares us the most. Is it spiders, sharks, being separated from our family? I mean, whatever our fears are, maybe it takes a very long time for us to actually discover what our greatest fears are. But once we do discover what those fears are, it can be almost paralyzing. I mean, you look at the characters in Jaws, you look at the people that were on these beaches. As soon as they found out about the shark, as soon as Jaws per se started swimming up and started attacking people wouldn't go in the water. And then everybody, it was causing mass panic and people didn't know what to do. And that's us when we have our greatest fear. We're anxious, we're terrified, we don't know what to do. We're paralyzed pretty much from the neck down, and we just feel like we can't move anymore. So how do we remedy that situation? Well, the best situation here is exactly what Brody and his entire team do, is they go up against the shark and they do what they can to stop it. They essentially go up against their greatest fear. It's a brilliant, brilliant plot point that I am glad that Steven Spielberg added. You know, the whole idea of going up against the shark is, you know, it could be simple. It could be seen as simple. But the way I see it, the way I think about movies and the way I analyze them, is the fact that their team was willing to go out against the shark, able to go out against this. It's a very, very selfless and very brave thing to do. And maybe that's what we need to do. If we have a fear that terrorizes us, maybe we need to get a group of our friends together and we need to conquer that fear together. No matter what our giant fear is, you know, regrets, what have you. And eventually they do defeat their fear. And I promise you guys, just like Brody and his team did with Jaws, if you go up against your fear, if you go up against your overwhelmingly terrifying fear, you will be able to stop it just as well. And I know personally, with my own personal fears in my life, I was able to do that too with the friends and family I have beside me. But guys, that's pretty much my analysis for Jaws. I understand this is definitely the shortest of all of my analysis that I have done and put up on this channel. But when it comes to Jaws, I feel as though the terror that Steven Spielberg put into the film itself is all that needs to be analyzed here. Of course, there could be character analysis 100%. But when it comes to Jaws, the film itself, the way it establishes fear, I feel can not only be established as fear in the movie, it can be a very deep and interpersonal fear within ourselves. And essentially, that's where I'm going to leave it. But before we go, guys, I just want to get your quick thoughts on here. I want to know what you think of Jaws. What are you able to analyze this film? And of course, thank you so much for showing up. And if you're new here, that is a double thank you for you, because it really means a lot. And if you guys want to know, and if you guys want more from me, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you'll know when more stuff is up on the channel. And of course, everybody, if you want to keep in contact with me, be sure to go to all my social media links up above. If you want more analysis, they're right up there in the top link. If you want the Sweet Film Podcast with me and Zach, where we dive deep into the films we love, click right there on the bottom link. And as always, guys, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right there and subscribe to become part of the fray of nerds who love cinema. You all have a fantastic day.